Were you able to find out who could have let the Zeugles in?
It was those men in the plaza. They burned some kind of incense that attracts Zeugles. Where would they even get something like that? For now, most of those behind the scheme have been detained. I owe you.
Danins are one thing, but can you even catch Renins?
You may find it hard to believe, but there are Renins that don't want to fight. But more pressing than that
is the hollowing and everything that happened at the plaza.
Yes. Rumors are already spreading like wildfire throughout the city. About Nazamil and Alphen both.
Alphen.
I ended up drawing my blade on those that turned to me for help. I used force on people who thought differently from me. Just like the enemies we all fought against. But what choice did I have?
I think it'd be best for you to leave Mies for a bit. Just until things cool down. I hate to say it, since I'm the one who called you back here and all.
But why? Alphen saved my life. He didn't do anything wrong.
Nazamil.
Why is Alphen the one being punished? Why not me?
It's okay. It isn't Bayfon's fault.
But...
That's fine. I'll do as you say, and leave for a while.
I'll tell everyone what really happened. How none of you are to blame.
It doesn't make any sense.
Oh, I just got a Steam achievement. Resolution.
We
Defend the
rushed
city
to
from
their
Zeugle
aid,
threat and
this is
subdue
how
the
they treat
chaos.
us?
Enough, Law.
It would be too difficult to reach another city at this hour. Camping might be our best bet today.
And that bonus is gonna run out right now. Yeah, the actions that he was taking there was definitely a lot more Voloron-like. Oh, can't fast travel right now. Well, wait, where's it want me to go? Through this one. Just making sure. And because that was a longer scene, I started munching on some more German gummies. Of leftover Halloween candy. Yeah. That could have been the start of that kind of path. We don't really know a whole lot about Voloron's past. We do seem to know that, it seems like he went down the path because he didn't have any friends to guide him the right way. That can be interpreted in a lot of different ways, though. But maybe there'll be a point later that he doesn't stop, or maybe Nazamil, takes action herself and gets super pissed off. And maybe there'll be parallels between her and Voloron. I don't know.
I didn't know.
About Mies and the hollowing? Of course you didn't know. We never told you about it.
But those people hate Alphen now.
It's not your fault.
But...
If anything, it was my fault. This happened because I couldn't control my anger.
You didn't start it. They were going to hurt Nazamil.
Unfortunately, if you favor either side, the other will hate you. If you treat them equally, then they both will. People have strong opinions
That's
when it comes
certainly
to the
a way to
blazing
put
sword.
it.
Pleasing everyone will hardly be a simple matter.
What about you, Dohalim? As the final lord, you're in a similar position, don't you think?
True. Some turn to me for help, while others despise me. All simply because I am a lord. But compared to the symbol that Alphen must bear, my burden is quite light.
People can be entitled about these kinds of things. If they assume someone is there to help them, they're doubly disappointed when that's not the case. In that, Danins and Renins are the same.
So, what will we do now?
Let's go back to Vicent for now. We can decide whether to divide up or not once we get there.
Yeah, this game seems to make a lot of arguments about human nature. Kind of reminds me of Attack on Titan in that way, where it's like, it was all about talking about human nature in terms of, like, hate and waging war on one another and all that. Though, you know, here in the DLC, it's not as much waging war as it is just about, like, general racism, not trusting others, having, like, long-standing, you know, struggles against one another and stuff like that, and never really being able to see eye to eye. Like things that we do continue to see today in the world and all that, you know? And, you know, going in with all these assumptions that someone is a certain way because of this one specific thing about them. Like, I see that on my videos all the time. Like, hey, here's a title that says how Pokemon lost its magic on a video essay. Therefore, I know everything about what this YouTube content creator is going to say, and I hate them. I see that happen to me sometimes, you know? I don't need a Coke. I'm good this time. So, you know. Yeah, I mean, and both of those are kind of up to interpretation as well. You know.
It's so noisy. Is it
A hero to some is a villain to others.
Wake up, everybody! Hurry!
What's wrong?
Nazamiel's gone.
What? You sure she's not just taking a walk around while invisible?
She
Apparently
better
not.
not be going
She left
back to
behind a letter.
Niez to vaporize those jerks.
To my friends.
Maybe she's just being like, I'm dipping, I'm
It
leaving,
made me happy that I could
because
help all
I'm
of
causing
you.
too much trouble.
It
That's what I
made
feel
me
like is more
happy to
likely,
earn your
honestly,
praise.
knowing her. She doesn't
I
seem
don't
the type
want
to
my
act in
friends to be
retribution.
sad. I don't want anyone to hate you.
So I'm leaving.
You all taught me that my power can be of use. So,
That's what I imagine's happening here.
I'm going to
Or-
see if there isn't something I can do.
What is this? What are you planning on
Maybe
doing,
it was like my
Nazamiel?
first guess.
Somewhere nearby, aren't you? Please say something, Nazamiel. Nazamiel!
Weeks later? What?
It's been weeks.
It's been weeks. Yeah, I figured that from the on-screen text. Thanks, Alphen. He didn't even follow that up. He just said, it's been weeks. Maybe now he'll follow up.
We're still searching for Nazamiel.
Okay.
Using Vicente
Bit of a
as our
delay
base
there.
of operations.
I think maybe he'd say, it's been weeks, and then that next sentence immediately. Nope.
She was so happy to finally make some friends. Where could she be? What is she up to? Wherever she is, regardless of how much we continue to search, we still haven't managed to find a single trace of her. And, once again, I find myself... She was spotted on Treslita Highway, correct?
Yes, but we don't know that it was actually Nazamiel. All we know is that they saw a Renin-looking girl wandering around by herself.
I hope we find her this time.
Even if it isn't her, it's dangerous for anyone to be alone outside the city. Let's go.
Yeah, the game did indeed, and she's been using that ability several times throughout the story here. Okay. And there's a new side quest that I can accept over there, so maybe I'll do that while I'm in the area. May as well. Boundaries are not changed, but it's no longer the name of a subjugated land. Well, but there's still a whole lot of strife.
If only
Stuff
we
like
could
that.
have flown with the wind to get here faster.
I mean, she used it when she was vaporizing the monsters and stuff. So I don't know how the people knew that it was her. Like, immediately, if she was vaporizing them while invisible. Unless that's why they had considered her a monster in the first place, like, apart from being mix of Danon and Renin. I like that. Yeah, I don't know if it did. I think it's just an ability that she
Around here?
has.
I think so. The people who saw her were a little
Get the
fuzzy
side
on the
quest
details.
first.
Let's expand the range of our search a bit.
Zoogles are
The man
still
behind the
pretty
slaughter.
common out here. We'd better find her soon.
I don't know why, like, my button UI vanished, but... Are you okay? Wait, you're that foodie.
Again?
You went hungry and passed out again? Here, have some of my bread. No way I'm eating plain old bread. Actually, there's something I wanted to ask you. Young woman who is always hungry. What do you think is true gastronomy? True gastronomy? Good food, right? What else could it be? No, that is not what true gastronomy is about. I've kept traveling in pursuit of gastronomy, even after the merging of the worlds, you see. As I was doing so, I've been serving my dishes to Renans in various places, though it wasn't always easy. Somehow, even with the best of my meals, not everyone is satisfied.
Really?
Can't believe it. Can anyone eat your food and not be satisfied? But there are many areas that still have food shortages. I'm sure they enjoyed your food if you served it to them. No, the expressions on their faces were far from satisfactory for me. It proves that I have not yet arrived at true gastronomy. So I want you guys to go talk to the people that I served Nochi to the other day. Remember to get opinions from both Danans and Renans. As a gastronomist, I need to create a recipe that will please everyone. Bothers you that much? Why don't you go ask them yourself?
Moron!
Idiot! As you can see, I'm too hungry right now to take another step. I have no choice but to ask you guys. I see this coming. Let's see. Well, Alphen's kind of hating Niez right now, so I don't know if we're asking there at least. Accept his request. Okay, if you insist, we'll go talk to them. I agree. I can't miss out on the true gastronomy he's seeking. Start quest, Gourmet Saga. Wind of the New World. But yeah. Sure, I don't know. But yeah.
There's no time to waste.
I mean, yeah.
Let's start
I could read the
asking
different
around so we can help
definitions
our
there,
foodie
but
friend on his quest.
Wow, Xion.
yeah, something that maybe
You're really
lacks
throwing
human
yourself
nature,
into
which
this
can
one.
still be humans.
But I guess we have known him for quite some
Like,
time.
you know,
now. We'll
like
do what we
Volron
can for
kind
him.
of put behind
This
his
campaign isn't so
empathy and
bad,
stuff.
As long as it's with good company.
All that.
Look,
But yeah.
there's someone over there.
Yes, but it isn't Nazamil.
Well, let's go take a look anyway.
Kind of similar with the white there. Howdy! How's it going?
Are you this kid's mom? I'm glad everyone's all
I guess I
right.
pressed A a little bit early there.
Are you going to kill us now?
Yes, my name is Inigo Montoya. Killed my father. Failed to die.
What?
Or are you going to take my daughter away and brainwash her?
Wait, it's not like that.
Lies! I know who you are.
What?
The blazing sword of Dana is here to oppress us. And if we fight back, we die. I've heard it all.
What?
No, listen.
I never should have come here. I'm leaving.
Wait, you...
Don't come any closer.
What?
Well, that wasn't Nazamil.
You know, you'd think with those kinds of threats and stuff like that, if we really were such an awful monster against anyone that resists us, that would count as resisting us and we would do those awful monstrous things that you accuse us
Seemed like she wanted to
of,
move
but
to Descent, but in the end, she probably wouldn't have been able to fit in. I
probably.
feel sorry for her child. Are you okay?
This isn't the first time this has happened. Let's go back to Vicente.
Not everyone's able to
What was up with that woman
get
and her
along
daughter?
so well.
And here we were worried about them.
It's all right, Law.
Even knowing how deep-rooted the conflict between Renans and Danans is,
All the stuff that's
it's still difficult to accept that some people just won't listen.
Right. Putting all the blame for what happened on one person, it's irrational.
That's
It's
what a
too
lot of
bad
people
that
will
wasn't
do.
Nazamil, but at least we know for sure
Either
now.
one person or one group of people.
Let's head back to Vicente.
It's called a scapegoat. That's what you do. They're the one to blame for all the world's problems. Yo. Yeah, maybe. I mean, one of the arguments that's kind of making is like fitting in while having the burden of these powers. So, I feel like within the context of this kind of story, they might not. Just because, like, it's integral to, like, fitting in while still having that. And I feel like, you know, them suddenly becoming more like everyone else and then fitting in wouldn't quite fit the narrative of, you know, fitting in despite their differences and people looking at them differently.
You've been looking a bit blue these days.
So I feel like a lot of games
Wanna
would do
talk
that.
about it?
But
Well,
this specific narrative,
you know,
I don't
for
know
the
if it would
past
quite
year I've been
match with,
traveling
but
with
we'll see.
Xion.
Without settling down in any one place like the rest of you?
To seal up the mausoleums, right?
Like,
That's something
if this was a
you guys
story
could
that
do.
hyped up these powers as like
reason
some
I didn't
super
stay in
special
cities for
chosen
long
one kind of thing,
is because I
it's like an
wanted to
amazing
avoid
thing to have.
Because
Then
everyone's
maybe,
either
yeah.
calling you a hero or a destroyer.
But
right?
the whole theme that's
That's
taken
why
with
you
it is like the
exploded in
burden of
ice,
this
isn't
power.
it?
Yeah. I
The
wanted to
pain
protect
that you
Nazimil,
needed to go through to
but it wasn't
acquire it
just
in the
for
first
her.
place. And all the
A lot of
sacrifice
anger
that
was
came
for
with
my
it.
own sake as well.
And then being looked
But
at
what
like a
else could you
completely
do?
separate being by everyone
Any way
else,
you
you
look
know?
at it, they were in the wrong.
Even so, I should have handled it better.
Not
If I
quite
hadn't
like a
lost control and caused this whole
chosen
mess,
one,
Nazimil wouldn't have run
amazing
off.
power
Look, I
kind of
get
narrative.
why it's bothering you, but that doesn't mean.
It's not just her, is it? I get the sense that behind all this, you're actually anxious about your future.
Alphen's future? What are you talking about?
You really are perceptive when it comes to other people.
If people could be perceptive about their own business, no one would ever have anything to worry about.
No doubt. You're right, though.
Well,
I'm in this mess just handling my own problems. I worry I'm not ready.
Regardless of what anyone says, it's your life. Don't let your future slip away from you. Or perhaps I should say, your future together?
Wait, that's. You mean Alphen and Xion?
Fluttering like a fish is not proper decorum, young man.
You're not even that old.
I'll still have to think it over and choose for myself, but I do feel better now. Thanks, guys.
yeah, the whole role of Sovereign is more of like a Renin tool. Also, with all the lights coming on and stuff, it's pretty nice. Yo, yeah, it definitely stands out.
Yeah.
I was like if I ate a dish by a man named Gordino. Yeah, he made a dish called Nochi, I think. It's actually pretty good. I'll have to try it again.
Hey,
Well then, when you ate the dish, did you feel like anything was lacking? Lacking? If I had to pick something, suppose it tasted too familiar? Familiar, huh? Be a little more specific? I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just that the seasoning was a Danon style that I'm used to. But actually, I've been into Renin dishes lately. There's a lot of food made by Renin people here, right? So now I'm interested in Renin seasoning. I've been doing some research. What I just said was only if I had to choose something, though. I'm grateful to the man who made that dish, of course.
Interesting.
Renin seasoning, huh? Something I never really thought about. I'm sure it was Gordino's kindness to make everyone feel at ease with the taste of home in this world full of confusion. He's a strange old man. It seems he really wants to make people happy with his cooking. Is that enough? I've got some other stuff to do.
yes.
Yes, thank you for your time. I'll be sure to share your feedback with him. Pass it along. And he despawned. That just reminded me of something I was going to say earlier and I completely forgot about. It was right around here as well. Earlier in the stream, one of the topics that we got to was, like, there should be more male chefs in video games. And one of the things that I was gonna say here, and I completely forgot about, is like, yes, we should have more people like that, that guy chef that was in Bravely Second, whose cooking was literally so good that it killed people. Bravely Second was such a wacky video game. That old man's dish? Yes, I did have some. Those nochi were quite delicious. Did you feel it was lacking in any way? Well, if I must say, taste was new, but it felt a little off. Yeah. I got reminded of him earlier this stream, and I was going to mention him while we were on the subject, and I forgot about it. And now that I'm suddenly remembering, I'm bringing it up again now, but I realize that we're kind of past the subject now, and now I'm kind of bringing it up randomly out of the blue. But didn't you just say they were delicious?
Indeed.
Yes, of course. But the nochi I ate had a Renin seasoning. It felt a little different from authentic Renin food. It didn't seem to fit a Danon dish. To make it more palatable to Renins, I would have liked it to be a bit more sweet and sour.
Of course.
See, so Renins and Danons have different tastes as well. Yeah, the chef was a class in the game and you made meals to, like, buff your allies and debuff your enemies. It was so silly. But Gordino is still in the process of recreating Renin dishes. Like, in terms of the customizability and the crazy different classes, like, Bravely Second's gotta be, like, one of my favorite games. But what I said was only if I had to nitpick. I want to thank that old man for making such a nice meal.
Good.
Okay, we'll let him know. I'd better get going then. I'm craving that old Danon's cooking now. Pastor Seer, was that his name? Did you look it up?
We've heard a lot about food, but not much about how we can actually help.
Because he
I'm
didn't
sure
have
you
all
will
that
be
strong of
able
a
to figure
presence in the
something out.
game.
Let's
So I
show
don't
him what we
remember his
found.
name. I just remember, like, what he did. Remember his actions more than his name. Yeah, just search it up. Oh, that's the name of the class. Okay.
Not again.
Yeah. What a class, huh?
Fine.
What a good video
if it's
game.
come to this, I'll use my astral arts to show you who your master is.
There's some new people that have moved in.
Why, you insolent!
This man wishes to emigrate here, but is demanding preferential treatment because he's a Renin.
That's not how things are done here. Did you come here without knowing that?
Lord Dohalim. I had heard talk, of course, but I considered the rumors too preposterous to believe. So, it's true. The Blazing Sword and the Lord are working in league with one another. What an affront to our people!
Thank you for your help. He wouldn't listen to reason.
Lately, more and more Renins and Danins are acting like that.
It's true. I'm trying to think of solutions, but it's a very delicate situation.
Oh, one other thing. Droshin from the Department for Welfare was looking for you all. He says he has something to discuss.
Alphen. It's difficult to receive such hostility from a stranger. I know I've experienced it myself, but
Don't worry.
Nazamil, where have you...
Be patient. Just for a little longer.
Nazamil, come back! I want to talk...
So I
Nazamil
guess
was right
she's
here.
always
Maybe we
watching here.
It's no good.
Still
There are too many
keeping an
people.
eye on
what did
things
she
while
mean by be
invisible.
patient? And why appear now of all times?
We
That means that
spent
she's
so
gonna get
long
involved again
searching
here
for her.
soon?
Was she actually watching us the whole time?
How's it going? How you doing?
Please forgive me for summoning you all. I was hoping I could ask you to deliver a personal correspondence to Sisluden.
A delivery? Isn't that a job for the Service Corps?
Usually, yes. Truth be told, they aren't too fond of the Corps over there as of late.
Really? The letter is for Bregan of the Silver Swords, right? I can't see him being upset about it.
He isn't the issue. It's the citizens of Sisluden. They're not just wary of Renins, but Danins too.
Makes sense. It is Cislodia after all.
I see. And you've come to us because you think no one would risk interfering with us. Is that it?
Yes. Of course, I don't think such a task would require all of you to carry it out.
What do you want to do? It's possible Nazamil will come back here.
Judging by that interaction, I don't think we'll see her again. Until she's ready. In which case, it's meaningless to continue searching for her. I think we should stay together so we're not apart when she returns.
But...
What Dohalim says makes sense. Besides, we've been trying to find Nazamil for a while. It would be good for you to focus on other things for a bit.
yeah. Alright then. We'll make the trip to Sisluden.
Thank you so much. Here is the letter.
So what's this correspondence about?
It's a formal letter between autonomous organizations.
If only we could use Renin communication equipment.
True. There are so many Renin machines we've been unable to use since Lennigus collapsed.
Even the RB button's missing. I don't know why my UI buttons are just gone.
Oh, Hoodle! Did Hoodle do something?
Oh, no, it's fine. I was just surprised to see him appear out of nowhere. I'm sorry for worrying you.
I'm definitely starting to get a little bit
Xion,
tired.
Do you still have some of your anxieties from when you had your thorns?
Yeah, I guess. Sometimes I still
And
panic
this
when someone
might
approaches
be a
me
good
too
point for
suddenly.
wrapping things up.
You know what they say about old habits dying hard.
Right. That
Maybe I'll
must
wrap
be
up that quest
difficult.
first. Just like
But
before I
overall,
do
I've gotten pretty used to
stuff with
physical
Sislo
contact
Den.
with
That
others.
might be good for beginning of another
It
session.
makes me happy more than anything.
The joy of human
But I am
contact.
definitely intrigued.
Hearing that from you of all people
Yeah,
makes it
so
seem
am I.
all the more wonderful.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'll say
And
my full
also,
thoughts after this scene.
I think it's easy to forget as you grow older, but just the warmth of another can be really comforting. It's cold in Cislodia, but when I hug Hoodle tight, it warms me right to the soul.
I remember how, whenever I was feeling anxious or when times were hard, my brother would silently rub my back. The warmth of his hand told me that everything was going to be all right. It was reassuring.
Yeah, it's a way of communicating without words, isn't it?
I've still only experienced that a few times, but I
Yeah,
think
and
I
you
understand.
gradually unravel the mystery.
Well, for what it's worth, you're always welcome to hug me, or even just lean on me, whenever you want. You too, Rinwell.
Yeah, and the same goes for the two of you with me. You too, Hoodle. Look, Xion, Kisara's waiting for us with open arms.
Really? Now? Well, alright then. I guess it'll help me get more comfortable with this sort of thing. Thank you. Both of you.
That's cute. But yeah, when I first started this, you know, I wasn't exactly super hyped up for this DLC story, like, on the initial start, because it's just like, oh, people just need to learn to stop being racist. You know, it's just like, oh, here's a story about not fitting in, and, you know, it still somewhat seems like that, but it also seems like, you know, things got a whole lot more serious, especially with, like, what they did with Alphen in that one scene where, you know, the guy shot and left that scar across his cheek, which I think would have been really cool if it left, like, a permanent scar, but it doesn't seem like it did. You know, that whole scene there made me go, like, whoa, what is happening to our characters in this world where it seems like, what if all their efforts were for nothing, you know, is what they're kind of being faced with, in a way.